channel. I'm just on my July project life. And when I'm done this, I will do a flip through of January through July. I've got a couple of blank spaces here. I will flip to Photoshop after I show you where we're going to show you the process that I use to print on my journaling cards. I have a few of them done already, but I've got a few more to do. So I'm going to show you that. And then I also have some empty spots here that I'm going to do flip um, photos and journaling. So I'll show you the process for that too when I'm done. So yeah, so let me just show you what I've got going on here. So normally I start off with the Becky Higgins design. I think these are design A. They changed them at some point. Oh no, these ones are design A. And I usually start off with two of those. Um, but this month, and then add in inserts if need be. Sometimes they're different sizes. You'll see when we do the flip through at the end. But this month in July, I took a girls' trip to Ottawa. So I had some extra photos, and July was a really busy month for us. So I did the design A page on this side, which is the back side of my June page, as you can see here. So that would flip in the album like this. And then this side is a design C. So it is 6 4x6s because I wanted to have, you'll see the design here in a sec. I wanted to have 3 4x6 photos, and then the rest will be 3x4s. I like sometimes having these different designs, different configurations for the page protectors. Just for this reason, I can put different sizes in and whatnot. I could totally, if I only had this one left, I could totally make it into a design A if I wanted to. And as you'll see on the design A, there's actually 4 4x6s, but I never use it for 4x6s very often. Like usually I might have one or two 4x6s, but then use the other 4x6 pockets as 3x4s. You'll see when we do the flip what I talking about. And then this month I have two insert pages. So I've used two 9x12s. I think these ones are two different configurations too, possibly. Yeah, they are. So this one is two 4x6s and the rest are 3x4s. This is a scrapbook.com one. And this is, well, is a scrapbook.com, but it has one, two, it's three 4x6s. One, two, three, and then these three are 3x4s. So for this one, I actually wanted a 6x12, but I don't have any 6x12s left. I've used them all. So what I'm going to do is just cut this one down here, and that will give me my 6x12 insert. And I'll put a tab here to denote that it's smaller. And then I'll have my 9x12 insert, and then the 12x12 at the back. So I'm gonna pop you over to Photoshop, show you the process for doing the cards, and then I will do the process. I'll show you 3 different ways that I do my flips, and then we'll come back to my desk and I'll put these pages together. So here in Photoshop, I'm gonna go through the process here. I've already got it done, as you can see along the side. So I'm just gonna kind of hide and reveal layers here to show you how I do this. So for these ovals, instead of just going in and typing, I go in and make an oval shape with the shape tool. And I'm just turning it black here so you can see it. Because when I do it, I actually do it in white so that you don't actually see it. And then when I'm going over the cards here now, when you click on it, you can see that the type tool has a round circle versus the square. And when you type, it will type to that shape. So all I did was enter down until I got to underneath that July story and then started typing. And it'll adhere to that shape. I do this for squares and whatnot as well. It works really well. And then I'm just revealing all my type layers. So when I'm all done, this is what it looks like. So the next step is to print this out as it is. I just use normal settings on plain copy paper. And I write, I'll show you there, you'll see it after it's printed here. I put a TR in the top to know which way to put my paper. So then the next step is to adhere all the cards on top of where I printed and then come back into Photoshop and hide all the layers that have the cards because all I want to print is the journaling on those physical cards. So I first print it on the on the paper. It will have the journaling cards printed on the paper, and then I put the physical cards. You'll see it here on top of those. I usually take put it up in a window or up against the light to make sure that I have it lined up properly because sometimes the digital doesn't match up with the physical super great. And then I use temporary adhesive to adhere them down. So here I'm just taking that off. All right, back to my desk. And you'll notice when I'm going through here that I do have some things covered. It's just people that probably don't want their faces on the internet. So here we are. So here's my three flips that I had shown earlier. I decided I'm not going to put any magnets on those yet. I'm going to see how well they flip in the album, and I can add magnets later if I need to. So the blue card is going to go in this pocket. I'll get these ones placed and then I'll come back and finish up that stuff. So this one is for this spot. Put that in. And then this currently card is going on the back of this one. It's going here. This is going to go in this spot up here. This one's got a bit of adhesive on it, so it's kind of sticking. Okay, there's that flip at the top. And then this soccer World Cup one is going to go up here with the other soccer photos of my son. And then this other flip of my son in physio is going to go there. So now everything is placed. And all I have left to do is cut this and do the embellishments, but I'll cut this later. I'm not going to do that just yet. So the next thing I normally go through and do, you see how this photo is kind of askew here because it's a 4x6 pocket and I've put 3x4s in it. What I do, move this out of the way a little bit, is just take some regular Scotch tape about the size that I need. And I'm just going to lay my photos down on the Scotch tape to adhere them together as if they were, oops, were a 4x6. So just like this. Sorry for all the shadows. It was nice and sunny earlier, but it's clouded over now. And my sun has seemed to disappear, or my light has disappeared. So that one's good. I'm gonna put that one back in. And I've already done it to some of these, but clearly none of these ones. Take these out. Do these ones. I'm gonna just scooch these over to the other side for now so they're not in the way. while we work on this one. So just Scotch tape. You could use washi for this. Whatever you've got for adhesive. You could also use cardstock if you wanted with adhesive as like a little or a piece of just copy paper um, adhered with adhesive on the back. And then if I've got some hanging over, which I do on this one, I'll just snip it off. Go. I can go back in. Mhm. And then when I'm getting started on the month, I will usually place my photos just on top of the page protectors to get started and kind of move things around until I like the way it looks before committing. I mean, it's pockets, so you can always move things around after the fact. But I always do a mock up first to make sure that I like where I've placed things and whatnot before I do any of this taping and things like that. These ones are good. This one needs to be done. I'm going to do this one off camera because I don't want to take that photo out because my friend is on there. These ones are good. And then these ones are all fine. Oh, but probably not this one. But again, I'm going to do it off camera because I don't want to show faces. And this one, these ones are all good. And I think there's one to do on here as well. Yeah, this one here. So, oops. I also need to do something with this one, and I'm going to see if Scotch tape will work. Sometimes it will on vellum and sometimes it won't, but I'm also putting an embellishment on here, and I'm not exactly sure how I want to do that yet, so I will wait and do that one after. Just tape this one down. And get that quite. That's why I usually do it the other way. I seem to be better at it that way. All right, so now that everything is in, I'm going to embellish a little. So I'll put you on fast forward while I sort embellishments and decide what I want to use and get those onto the photos. So I'm just going to go through my July kit here and open up the embellishments and whatnot. I'm using these scrapbook.com trays. I like using those to put my little bits in to hold them so I don't lose them while I'm working on my projects. So for this vellum card, I decided to use that Everyday Story round circle and so that it's interacting with the edge and cutting it off just a little bit so that it has the illusion that it came off the edge completely. And then I'm going to add a few stars, 3 different sizes, 3 different colors. I'm trying to pull the colors from that currently card across the page. And but because of where I put that circle, I'm then able to put my tape just in behind that and you can't see it, just to adhere those 2 cards together to make the 4x6. And that worked really well. And then next, I'm going to put some of these chipboards around the layouts. They just say July story. So you'll see me take the backing off of these. I try to keep my albums fairly thin. I don't like them super bulky. So I take out as much of the chipboard as I can, and that helps with that. Here I'm just putting on some ATG tape and a little Barely Arts glue, and then I'm adhering these to the actual page protectors. I've done that for quite some time now, and I've never had one come off with the way I put them on there. They stay very secure. So again, just taking the backing off the chipboard. That doesn't all come off, but it's okay. It still makes it a little flatter. Same process, a little tape a little glue and adhere that down with some tweezers. And then a third one on that photo there, which is two 3x4s. I'm just going to put it right in the middle. Okay, so these pages are as done as they're gonna be. I will fix up those few that I hadn't done earlier, and I'll put some page tabs on, and then I will do a flip through. So I'll do a quick flip here. I won't be too chatty, just to keep this nice and short, but I'll do a quick flip through of my Project Life album that starts in January and goes to the end of July. So this was my title page. Normally, I do photos on my title page that are from January. I usually have like a photo of our feet and things like that, but we didn't do that this year. So I just chose some random ones that we've taken. Most of them are from this spring. These cards are all from this year's kit. This one, I believe, is from a previous year. This is a vellum on top of a paper card, in case you're wondering how that came about and can't find it in your kit. So that's the title page. And then January looks like this. So I've got the two 12 by 12s and then a 6 by 12 in the middle here with a little tab. And then this one is a flip. So this was a piece of vellum, this one. And then I just made a flip with the photos inside. And then this is a little flap. So I've just adhered vellum onto the top of the photo, and then that all will flip up into the photo underneath. January. For February, I went with a lot of pink since it's Valentine's Day, and there was lots of pink, just kind of following that. So I did another 6 by 12 insert with a little tab. And then this is a little flip here. You'll see I've added these little notches, little like thumb holes to flip things up or to denote that there's a flip. This was my son's soccer team. They had gone out to play laser tag. And I just have a quote in here and then just some journaling about him. And this is March. I like the way these turned out, the little photos inside. And yeah, not too not too difficult to do. They're just little squares. And I chose to do a 6 by 8 page protector insert for this month. Just some more journaling. This one is a flip. It's got a little tab on the side. So it's just a little outing I did with my friends in April. This one I chose a 9 by 12. I had some extra photos where it was Easter and things like that. So did a 9 by 12 and added some extra filler cards and things just to give it a little more interest. So it wasn't just photos and words. So got a look at April and then May. May, there's no insert. This was Week in the Life was in May. So I have a whole album dedicated to that week. And outside of that week, I didn't really take a lot of photos. So there's a few in here, like this one and this one for sure. Not sure which other ones, but showed up in Week in the Life. But for the most part, it's just a quick overview of May since there's a pretty detailed one in my Week in the Life album. And I believe I referenced it. Yeah, I did in this card. I referenced that Week in the Life had happened so that if I want to go and see more about what happened in May, I could go see. And this is June. This one flips up. We're big into soccer, and we live in Canada, so it was a big thing here watching the World Cup. So I did a 6 by 8 insert. This is just random things. And then on this side, it was a friend of mine's retirement party, so I chose to do 3 photos from it and talk about the retirement party. And then on this side, there's a little flip. Again, this is, oop, there's a little thingy in here, probably from that one. This one is a vellum card. And I had chose to use washi to do this flip, and you can see it, but I'm okay with that. It adds a little interest in behind that card, and the colors match the rest of the layout. That's it for June, and then July, you just saw me put together my 6 by 12. The little flippy over here. And that's, ooh, stuck. And then the other 9 by 12. So I like the way this one turned out. So there's the 6 with the tab and then another tab so you can see. And then you can't, it's like a cascade, I guess. So this one and then this one. Oops. And then that little flip. I might put a magnet on this one because I feel like it's going to continually flip up when you turn the page just because of where it's at. But we'll see. I try not to use my magnets outside of December Daily just because I choose to keep them for that. But again, soccer, and then this currently page, and that's it for July. And then I've got a little bit of a start on August. I've printed a few photos and kind of put some cards. I'm thinking of using these ones. I I'm going to have a lot of photos for August, it feels like. So I may do a bigger insert or do a couple of inserts like I did for July and use up some more of those cards. That's a look at my project life up till now. I probably won't do another project life process video until the new year just to do a flip of the whole thing when it's finished. So we'll see you then. If you're interested in seeing more Project Life, though, let me know. I can do monthly or semi, like every couple of months, videos if anyone's interested. Just let me know. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.